The city is preparing for the next biennium.
Community gardens are ready to harvest.
And the Tacoma Art Museum has a new exhibit.
All that and more coming up next on Tacoma Report.
Hello and welcome to this edition of Tacoma Report. I'm Angie Foster.
And I'm Laura Proctor. City Manager Elizabeth Pauley and other senior leadership staff are attending neighborhood council meetings in August and September as part of the city's process to develop the 2019-2020 proposed biennial budget. At these meetings, attendees are encouraged to share their thoughts on what they would like the city to focus on over the next 2 years and hear the city's budget priorities. Residents can learn more about the budget by going to the city's webpage.
More adopters are wanted for the city's Adopt a Spot program. As we move into fall, the need for volunteers to pick up litter and debris along roads and traffic circles continues.
So our largest need for the Adopt a Spot program right now is for people to take care of traffic circles in their neighborhoods. There are a lot of traffic circles around town that are overgrown with weeds or tall grasses. So what the city is able to do is provide you with the resources so that you can clear out those beds, get some new soil, fresh soil in there, and establish new healthy plants that will beautify the area. So it's pretty low maintenance for adopters to be able to just water those plants so that they can establish and then lightly weed throughout the year.
To learn more about adopting a spot, check out the webpage. 100,000 pounds of fresh fruits and vegetables. That's just a portion of the food produced and donated to food banks each year by programs like Harvest Pierce County, part of the Pierce Conservation District. Every growing season, community gardeners passionately weed, water, and harvest produce from patches of ground. In Tacoma, more than 3 dozen community gardens provide enough veggies and fruits to donate and help support local food banks. During this harvest season, if you have excess edibles, consider donating your produce to a local food bank. There is a list of these food banks on the Harvest Pierce County website with details on what is needed and the location nearest you.
The fall edition of Enviro Talk is coming to customers' homes this month. The newest edition has information about how to prevent wasted food, becoming a habitat steward, recipes, and much more. In addition to the mailing, you can also view Enviro Talk online. The state's largest single attraction each year is just around the corner for our area. It's time for the Washington State Fair, which opens August 31st for a 3-week run in Puyallup, drawing 1 million+ visitors and providing about 7,500 jobs. It gives Tacoma and Pierce County an economic boost each year. If you want to avoid traffic and parking hassles, Pierce Transit will be offering Fair Express service from the Tacoma Mall Station. You can get more on the fair schedule and transportation options by visiting thefair.com. This year, the fair is open daily except on Tuesdays and also on Wednesday, September 5th. Election season has started.
When we come back from the break, we'll find out how to register to vote. Don't go away. Pierce County recently completed its primary election. Here to talk with us about how the process went and what will take place between now and the November general election is Michael Rooney with the Pierce County Auditor's Office. Good morning, Michael.
Hi, thank you for having me on.
You bet. Welcome to our show. So, how was the turnout of the primary election?
So, we're just wrapping up our primary election, and turnout was actually about 34%. And that's actually a little bit higher than what we expected. We were thinking we were going to be in the 28 to 30% range, maybe 32, but we ended up at 34. I always like to think that races and issues kind of drive turnout, and we probably saw that a little bit with U.S. Senator, 8th Congressional, and also the 26th Legislative District races. Plus, one other thing is, we implemented prepaid postage this year. And I think that maybe boosted turnout a little bit as well. We'll have to see over a group of elections to see if that trend continues.
Mm-hmm. And I understand that there were some changes that went into effect for this election. Can you share a little bit more about those?
The big change is that prepaid postage. So no matter if you were putting your ballot in a post office box, a blue USPS box, or one of our drop boxes, no stamp was required. And you know, we recognize we like options for our voters. Some voters like to use that drop box. Gives them a sense of security that they're putting it in. They know it's in there on time, and they know that it's directly coming to us. The other thing we did is we put in 8 new drop boxes this spring. So we now have 43 ballot drop boxes across the county. I like to say we're from the peninsula to the mountain. We put boxes out at Lake Catherine Village, Fox Island, and we're at Ashford and Wilkeson. So we're clear across the county.
So convenient. So Michael, can you share with us, what does your office look like on election night?
Well, election day and night is always exciting times. I like to think of it as being the culmination of a lot of hard work. You know, we have to design, print, and mail out ballots. We produce a voter's pamphlet. We're helping and assisting customers leading up to the election. So it's that culmination of that election. The one thing about it also is, you know, throughout the day, we're still processing and opening ballots and getting them through our tabulators. About 6 o'clock on election night, we dispatch our ballot pickup crews. So they go out to close the boxes. Each of those drop boxes have to be closed at 8 p.m. Plus, they're also picking up those ballots and transporting them back. And that, you know, that's a team of 2 transporting them securely. And then as we're leading up to 8 o'clock, there's that anticipation of the first set of results. You print the results out. You do a quick look to make sure that they're complete and accurate, and then we post them on our website. So it's exciting, it's anticipation, and you can it's one of those little milestones in the election.
About how late do you guys stay on that day?
Oh, we typically will end up working, you know, we start at 6 o'clock to support all of our voting centers, and then results at 8, and we're out of there in the 11 o'clock, 11:30 when we get all of our ballots back from our drop boxes.
That's awesome. Well, I understand there are some changes coming with the process of getting registered to vote. Can you share a little bit about?
Primarily new laws going into effect next year. One is same-day registration, so it removes those deadlines of 29 days before you have to be registered. You can basically register and vote on election day. There's pre-registration for 16 and 17-year-olds, so as they go in to get their first driver's license or ID card, they can sign up to vote. Of course, they won't be able to vote until they're 18, but at least we're having that initial contact. And then everything is about trying to remove barriers and making it easy to register. But I like to say registering is only the first step. We want you to vote as well.
Yeah, it's easier than ever. Well, Michael, thank you for joining us today and for all the outstanding work that your team and the volunteers are doing, because every vote really does matter. So thanks for being here today.
It certainly does, and thank you.
You can register to vote online by going to the Pierce County Auditor's website. Coming up next, we'll get an update on several Tacoma Power projects. Stay with us.
It's been a busy summer at Tacoma Power as it improves the reliability of our electric system with some large construction projects. Work has started on Henderson Bay near Purdy to replace 4 92-year-old over-the-water transmission line towers with a single pole. The wires transmit power between the Cushman Hydroelectric Project and Tacoma. It's a complicated project because of the marine environment and the proximity to busy Highway 302 on the Purdy Spit. Work is expected to last through the end of September. Here in Tacoma, another Tacoma Power construction project on the Murray-Morgan Bridge is progressing. Power lines are being added over the top of the bridge to improve future electric service to downtown Tacoma. The bridge at South 11th Street over the Foss Waterway had been fully closed for the first part of the work and is ready to be partially reopened to traffic for 1 lane of travel. That project is also expected to wrap up at the end of September.
Engineers played a big role in each of those major Tacoma Power construction projects and are a very important part of providing your electric and water service. John Phillips tells us about a summer program for college students to foster and attract talented engineers to Tacoma Public Utilities.
This internship totally changed my entire life decision because I've been wandering around for like 5 years and not knowing what I wanted to do.
All summer long, WSU junior Ann Jeremiah has been working with Tacoma Power engineers. For the first time, she's seeing how her electrical engineering classroom studies actually apply in the real world and is being paid a living wage as an engineer in training.
I changed my major for like 5 times. And now it's like, after this internship, I was like, I want to work for a utility.
Ann is one of 17 engineering interns from colleges around the country on duty at Tacoma Power for the summer.
The interns work on projects, typically projects that we can have them complete in the summer that they're here.
Besides the on-the-job training of collaborating and learning from Tacoma Power staff, Ann's assignment is to engineer a new relay and indicator light on this fish collector at the Cushman Hydro Project.
It does. It helps us. We have a lot of low-hanging fruit, a lot of projects that we just can't get to, that may be a lower priority, but when we bring interns in, we can give it to them and they can take it and run with it.
So that's the filtration rate we were talking about earlier. We're allotted to go up to 10 gallons a minute per square foot. We're running about 9 gallons a minute per square foot. Gives you some wiggle room.
Power engineering interns are even gaining an understanding of Tacoma Water's operations with tours of the Green River watershed and filtration plant.
I definitely would not even be able to experience this if it weren't for this internship.
Tacoma Water has 5 engineering interns for the summer. Besides working on their own assignments, they're getting a glimpse of Tacoma Power, exploring substations and even the community solar project.
Yeah, absolutely. I enjoy it. This is great people, great engineers that I have learned from.
It's certainly different since at your school you're learning about the theories, so it's something else when you go out in the field and apply that. So you don't necessarily get that in the classroom.
It was a great opportunity to get to learn many different areas. So when it came time for permanent employment, it gave me some idea of where I wanted to work in the utility.
12 years ago, Chad Ettinger was a grad student interning at Tacoma Power. Today he's in charge of the utility's Energy Control Center. While engineering internships can open employment doors for students, he says the utility benefits from getting to know highly skilled people it'll need to serve customers in the future.
Again, it gets back to finding the most qualified people to come here to do the job. We want to attract the best people we can. And we want to be able to, I think, also give back to our community.
For Tacoma Report, I'm John Phillips.
TPU begins on-campus recruiting for its engineer in training internships at the start of the school year. It's pretty competitive. One water intern says he was picked from among 64 applicants. Most of the interns come from the University of Washington and Washington State University engineering programs.
Tacoma Rail inspired young people to consider a railroading career. High school students from around the country recently spent part of a week-long rail camp at our municipally owned freight railroad. A dozen teenagers took part in the 20th annual National Railway Historical Society Rail Camp. Students had the opportunity to try out a locomotive simulator and the real thing.
It's nerve-wracking. I was worried, like, oh God, am I going to do something wrong? Is the train going to break? Oh no.
They give everything they can to make their day enjoyable, and the children love it. It's an opportunity that kids don't get anymore because you can't get invited up on a locomotive and play inside and run it. But with a program like Rail Camp, kids get to understand all the different jobs that the railroads have to offer and experience how some of them work.
Tacoma Rail is just one part of the Rail Camp. They also visited Sound Transit, Amtrak, and National Rail operations around Puget Sound. One day was even spent learning about historic steam locomotives.
They learn about restoration going on with steam locomotives at Mount Rainier. They get machine shop experience, learn how to run a lathe, and also get some experience on track repair. They're actually out there pounding spikes and aligning rails and all kinds of grunt work like that.
Students pay tuition for the intensive one-week camp on railroading, and some intend to pursue a career in the field. The camp is one of 2 conducted each year by the Society.
Pedestrians and bicyclists, mark your calendars for the Sunday Parkways Downtown to Defiance event. Participants can walk, bike, or run on the beautiful Tacoma waterfront free of vehicle traffic. Tacoma Report Stacy Ellifrit has more.
For the 6th year in a row, multiple community partners will host Downtown to Defiance, an event that opens up almost 7 miles of roadways to human-powered transportation. This free event takes place on Sunday, September 9th from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m.
This is a really fun event. We've been doing it for a few years now. The footprint spans from the Tacoma Dome all the way to Point Ruston. This is an event that celebrates active transportation. Anything that is biking, running, human-powered. We've got stand-up paddling, we've got kayaking.
There are 7 different sites where participants can join the course, including McCarver Street, using the stairs or the elevator at the Murray Morgan Bridge, and North 51st Street, among other locations.
You can join at the Dome or at Point Ruston if you want to do the entire event. I think it is important for people to know, though, if you're not, somebody who wants to do necessarily a really long ride, you can join and just do a few miles if you wanted to. We do typically see a lot more cyclists than we do other forms of human-powered transportation.
There will be plenty of chances to stop and enjoy fun activities along the course, including pickleball, bubble soccer, food trucks, and many other options.
We've also got here at this site, in particular Dickman Mill, 2 new features. We have the Point Defiance Marina. Boathouse and Marina is going to be out here, and they're going to be doing casting, so free casting lessons if people are interested. And then this is a site, of course, that used to be the old Dickman Mill. And coming in spring of 2020, we will have the old original head saw restored here. And how that's applicable is that we have reenactors from Fort Nisqually who will be here during this event, and they will be able to talk about the history of the park, and they'll be doing some reenactments.
Join the excitement and don't miss this opportunity to experience this beautiful stretch of Tacoma's waterfront in an unexpected way. There's also a chance to give comment on local waterfront parks.
And there is going to be an opportunity for the public to give feedback, and that area will be set up around Point Ruston. We look to the public to help us develop our parks and our systems, and what we do is for them, and so we want the community to use it. So we encourage everybody to come out to this event and also make sure that you're making it to Point Ruston as well to be able to give some feedback.
For Tacoma Report, I'm Stacey Ellifrit.
Celebrate open streets at this free family-friendly event. Visit the Downtown to Defiance site to pre-register today. After this short time out, we'll find out about a beautiful new exhibit at the Tacoma Art Museum.
And fall can't be far off if the glass pumpkins are making an appearance. Stay with us. The Tacoma Art Museum is known for getting some amazing and unique exhibits on display. Well, they've done it again. Lane Fickey takes a look at one that is now showing, which is a collaboration from an artist in the Pacific Northwest and one from the South.
To Sing of Beauty is a video collaboration that focuses on the power, beauty, and richness of blackness. Videos are played on opposite sides of the gallery. One side, created by Paul Stephen Benjamin from Atlanta, generates a musical round with footage and music from singer-songwriter Nina Simone's rendition of Black is the Color of My Lover's Hair. On the other side, a video is played on 2 partitions fashioned by C. Davida Ingram, a Northwest artist, which highlights the African-American northern migration and uses dreamlike sequences that were filmed in Seattle.
Usually you have 2 paintings next to one another and you do a compare and contrast. And with video, you have more of the sound, you have the time, you have the technology, and how all of these factors come together and provide a multi-layered, multifaceted experience are really important to understanding what the artist's intent are and how they lead you to think more deeply about the world around you.
The 2 works are very relevant and have this collective interest in what beauty is. So marrying those or bringing those 2 together gives a different perspective. So Davida, as a woman, presents in one fashion, and then I have this other presentation of it.
You don't often find video exhibits in art museums, but it's this outside-the-box thinking that has made the Tacoma Art Museum a major player in the gallery world when it comes to unique exhibits. And it's just one of the many reasons visitors put this venue high on their list.
Tacoma Art Museum is an incredibly lively, institution. You can come here and see 19th and 20th century painting. You can come here and see 21st century video installations. There is a lot of different, media and a lot of different thoughts expressed, and that we can really provide something for nearly all interests.
To Sing of Beauty will be at the Tacoma Art Museum through the end of September. But if you'd like to see it, Tacoma is the only place that you can, because as of right now, this is a one-time collaboration between these two amazing artists. For Tacoma Report, I'm Lane Fickey.
The Tacoma Art Museum has some great events coming up this fall. Their website is the perfect place to find out what's happening and also learn about some special hours designed for families.
Tacoma glassblowers have been busy transforming glass into pumpkins for the annual Northwest Glass Pumpkin Patch. The Tacoma Glassblowing Studio, area glass artists including the Hilltop artists, have created thousands of pumpkins for 9 events. Tacoma's patch will pop up at McClendon's on North Pearl Street on Saturday, October 20th from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. For a full listing of patches, visit them online.
Fall means time to head back to school, and too many students start the school year without shoes, clothing, school supplies, and other basic items. In an effort to help these students in need, Communities and Schools of Tacoma has spearheaded a Stuff the Bus school supply drive throughout the city. This year, the organization is hoping to provide over 4,000 backpacks filled with school supplies. The goal is for all Tacoma school children to have the supplies they need to be successful in school, starting with the first day. If you'd like to donate to the program, please visit their website.
And finally, as students begin walking or biking in the mornings and afternoons, don't forget to share the road, especially in school zones. Remember, when school zone beacons are flashing, be sure to yield to pedestrians. Look out for children in school zones near parks and playgrounds. When school bus lights are flashing and the stop arm is extended, traffic must stop. Exercise extra caution when entering a school zone. Slow down, watch for students, and be alert. These simple steps will help the school year get off to a safe start.
That's all the time we have on this edition of Tacoma Report.
A great way to find out about the services the City of Tacoma has to offer is by going to cityoftacoma.org. Until next time, I'm Angie Foster.
And I'm Laura Proctor. Thanks for watching.